First, I want to tell you about a certain reminder I set on my iPod. You can set little alarms or little reminders to go off every once in a while. Well, mine goes off every day at 12 o'clock. And the reminder says, do essay work. Because as a senior in high school, you have lots of essays to be writing. You have essays to be writing to get applied to college. For school, we have a big essay for English class, a critical analysis essay that's due this Tuesday, actually. And of course, there's always schoolwork you could be working on or homework, things like that. Well, this reminder is in its 76th day. It's been 76 days since I set that reminder. And guess what I'm going to be doing after this speech when I go home? Right, working on essays. Working on that essay that's due Tuesday, or working on essays to get applied to college. But that intervening time period, those 76 days, I haven't been doing nothing. I haven't just sitting around just wasting time. I've been wasting my time doing other things. And so I want to talk to you about the other things I've been doing that have been wasting my time. Well, what are some things that I like to do? Well, for pure enjoyment, I guess I like to play video games, maybe. I know a lot of people like to do that. It's something I've been doing since I was a kid. Playing Pajama Sam adventure games when I was a kid, and in 3rd grade, getting introduced to Sid Meier's Civilization 2. I like to play strategy games or things like that, and I think those have helped me learn how to organize myself, how to plan, strategize, and I think it's also given me a passion for history as a living subject, not something that you just learn about in a textbook, but that's something that you can experience in a more stimulating way, visually and with really thinking about things. And I think video games have also allowed me to connect with my friends. It gives us something to do together, which is really important when you're a senior in high school, because obviously you won't be with your friends for that much longer once you go to college. But I could see how you could say this is a waste of time, because it's for pure enjoyment, right? It's not really that important. You probably don't learn that many things from it. I feel like I could give a speech in defense of it, but this is a whole entirely different speech. So what else is it that I like to do? Well, one thing that occupies a lot of my time would be acting on stage, this stage, actually. Actually, this past week, we've been working on rehearsals for our musical in the spring, and it's fall. It's still the fall. We're going to be spending months and months working on that musical. It's going to take up a lot of my time. But acting is an extracurricular activity. It's not curricular. It's extracurricular. It's less important than those school classes that I need to be working on, that essay for English class, for instance. But I still feel like there are important things that we can learn from acting. I think everyone should study it because it helps you be comfortable in front of people, public speaking. I don't know when that would come in handy. It also helps you become comfortable with your body and your emotions, because those are your tools on stage as an actor. You have to really be honest with yourself and take stock in what you can do and what you can't do. I think perhaps most importantly, acting teaches you empathy. Empathy, I think, is one of the most key human emotions. It was one of our greatest skills, the ability to feel empathy, to be able to feel bad for someone, or to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Actress Susan Sarandon said that acting is a crash course in empathy, because day after day, you are forced to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And I think that ability has helped me on a personal level with other people. I mean, countless times I've seen people in arguments with each other, personal squabbles, and I kind of think to myself, I wish these people could think how the other person thinks and think maybe their feelings are justified. It might kind of ease that tension there. And I think that ability for empathy has also helped me in the next waste of my time that I like to discuss, which is my interest in current events or politics or foreign policy, things like that. I'm president at Oakridge of the Current Events Club, and I have a deep passion in current events politics. I read about it all the time on the internet. It's a big, big waste of my time. And so I think the the empathy that I learned from acting has helped me kind of, for instance, in foreign policy, see how other countries would maybe feel about American actions, or in politics, see how people with other opinions might justify their opinions. But this interest in foreign policy, in politics, current events, things like that, it kind of has a life of its own outside of the whole empathy thing. For instance, I love to research about Israel and Palestine, which has become very relevant in recent days. I mean, I wrote this speech before all that happened, but it's become even more relevant in the past few days. And I dream of peace in that area, and I think it is attainable. Or other areas in which I have dreams, American foreign policy in general with other countries. I envision true diplomacy and friendship as opposed to kind of heavy-handed American diplomacy. And I think this, too, is possible. But people say that I'm wasting my time. They say it'll never become a reality. It's a waste of time. Or when I envision social change or political change in our system here at home, people say it's a waste of time because there's so much money moving around with major political parties. They'll never change. Some ideas are just too radical. And I think to myself, yes, these things probably won't change immediately, but they will never change if nobody dares to dream them to be possible. I think that's something that I've learned from my interest in current events or politics or things like that. But I still am forced to realize these things are wastes of time, aren't they? These current events, politics, acting, video games, they're all wastes of time because they're not my curricular activities. They're not class, they're not homework, they're not working on those essays, so they're wastes of time, right? I don't think they're wastes of time. I think I've learned at least as much from those activities as I have in the classroom, learning traditional textbook-type subjects. I even think maybe I've learned more from extracurriculars or from my passions than I have in a classroom. And so I think it's important that everyone go and examine what their passions are and learn from them as much as you can, and never think that your passion and your hobby isn't as good as some sort of textbook subject because those things are in the classroom and you get grades in those things, and the other things you do for fun. Learn from what you do for fun. Make that your curricular, not your extracurricular. I'm not saying that you should ignore what you do at school or your classes. Indeed, those might be your passions, and if that's the case, then that's great. But whatever your passion is, find those and pursue them. And I think even your teachers in school who want those essays turned in or that schoolwork, I think even those teachers would almost rather help you learn from what you're passionate about or what you care about. They would care more about that than teaching you dry subjects from a dry textbook that maybe doesn't teach you much. So thank you. Hopefully you go pursue your passions.